right, is everybody ready? We're going to open up with a brief statement from Coach, and we'll take some questions after that.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. Hats off to South Carolina. Obviously, Don's got a great squad. They're very deep, very talented. But I'm proud of our team. I thought we competed. I think late in the second quarter it was a 2-point game. I think it was late in the third it was an 11-point game. But that's the thing about South Carolina. They just need a little window. And all of a sudden, an 11-point game is a 16-point game, and then it turns into a 24-point game. And they just go on runs. I thought our players did a nice job just staying the course. Obviously need to be better on the boards. I felt like we left some points out there around the rim. Maybe a different look playing against the size and athleticism. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. This is SEC. You gotta handle it. You gotta learn from it, and you turn around and you got another top 25 team on the road. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities in front of us, and we can't hang our heads. Like I said, I'm proud of this team, and I think we'll be better because of it.
Yeah, and you had to get really creative with lineups there after the foul trouble in the front line. Just kind of how are you going about dealing with that?
Yeah, definitely frustrating. You got two starters. We had foul trouble. It seemed like the majority of the game. Putting a team on the line 32 times is tough, but we got to go back and watch film and figure out how we don't put officials in positions that they have to make those calls. What do we need to clean up on our end? It's next man up, next rotation, and I think we've got some players that can play positionless basketball, pretty high IQ young ladies that just adapted pretty quickly and were able to function in different rotations than we haven't really had than we basically had pretty much this season so far.
For Ashton and Grace, just from an on-court perspective, what was it making it tough to guard them without sending them to the foul line today?
We did send them to the foul line.
Sorry, but yeah.
I think just discipline. We went into the game knowing that we were gonna have to take care of the ball and be physical, but also draw that line between being physical and not fouling. And, it hurt us in the long run. I think we gave them around 30 free throws, and I don't know the exact score of how much we ended by, but, that shot us out of the game, so.
Yeah, I agree. Just the discipline of it. We really talked about how some people you're just going to have to make sure you box out and get them out of the paint, and then the guards might have to come in and get the rebound. And so I think just being consistent with that was something that we needed to do more of.
Yeah, and then you do have to go to that small lineup with no post presence in the second quarter and then go on an 8-0 run. Just kind of what do you think of the resiliency from that group?
Yeah, I did feel like, and we talked about this at halftime, we had some good looks at the rim that we didn't convert on, that if you don't like that, they turn into transition baskets. And we overran some of our tags offensively that put us in a really bad position with our transition defense. And so we were able to pull up a couple clips at halftime. And, I think this group is a pretty visual group. And I think once they see those, sets and just adjustments that we need to make, they're usually pretty good at making those. But I felt like transition buckets, I think, was a lot more than what this box score has. But that was also in the half court, it wasn't bad. Transition buckets hurt us, and second shot opportunities.
Robin, is there a benefit to having a tough test like this early in SEC play, and what do you feel like the team can learn from it?
I think we've got a locker room of young ladies that like to compete, and I don't think they plan on backing down. I think they're actually all really excited for SEC, and we like playing South Carolina. I've got a lot of respect for Dawn. I've got a lot of respect for our program. But line them up in the SEC. Every team, it's there's some great coaches, great players, and it's going to be a dogfight every night. To start off with a team that's top 2 in the country, I think they're ranked second in both polls right now. Great opportunity to learn and grow from. Like I said, this season isn't defined by one game. We know there's a body of work that we have to do within the SEC to put ourselves in a position for postseason, and I think we're all really excited about it and anxious to get back to practice tomorrow.
Any more questions?
then for Ashton and Grace, obviously you guys had some pretty good start offensively. Just kind of how did you see them adjusting, how they were guarding you guys throughout the game?
I think it depended on their lineup. You know, they started out with Kits at the 4, and then they would bring in Edwards and have 2 bigs in there. So it kind of differed depending on their lineup. If they were switching on us, you know, that was something that we had to adjust to, just make the read. And I felt like we were able to execute that farther down the line, but I think we struggled initially trying to make the right read, and whether or not it's a tight cut, a back cut, a Creighton, you know, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, I agree. When you just are playing a team that's so aggressive defensively, it's on us to make sure we stay calm on that offensive end and just really read our cuts well and understand who's guarding where and how we can try to expose them that way.
Ashton or Grace, I know that you guys will probably learn more a little bit once you guys look back at the tape, but what do you feel like are some takeaways you guys already kind of have of how this one can benefit you guys down the road?
You know, Coach said it, the number 2 team in the nation. I don't know how many times they turn a team over, but I felt like, for one, we were able to take care of the ball. I mean, if we can do that, then that's promising looking down the line in the SEC. But as far as takeaways, I think Grace touched on it. Just every time the shot would go up, we'd turn up and look. And no offense to us, but like, we're not gonna out athletize like people in the SEC. So like, trying to get a box out, being physical in the paint, like that's gonna win us ball games. And I think that's also what hurt us in the long run today. So.
Yeah, and jumping off of that, that's just, I mean, a testament to like our scout and being able to understand that, you know, we have different reads on different people for a reason, and if we can execute that, then, you know, that'll help with on the defensive side and offensive side.
Coach, just to get back to the foul trouble a little bit there, looking forward a little bit off that, is your depth where you need it to be to get through the SEC schedule?
Yeah, I think we have the pieces for sure. You know, I thought tonight, I thought Hilke had some really good minutes for us. We've seen her start to come on ever since Christmas break. I think she's playing with a much better motor, a lot more physical. I thought she had some big minutes, which is going to help us more as well. But bottom line is we can't get in foul trouble the way we did. I mean, we had Angie and Hannah both pick up 2 fouls in that first half, and so then, you know, Tree pulled her hamstring, and so she was a no-go for the rest of the game. And so that put us in some tough rotations. But do I think we have the personnel and the depth in the league? There is no doubt in my mind.
We'll take 1 or 2 more if anybody has them.
Do you think that, I mean, 4-15 from 3, do you think that South Carolina's perimeter defense affected your game plan tonight, being the best 3-point shooting team in the conference?
Do I think their defense did?
Yeah,
I thought they were pretty disruptive. You know, I think they played the 3 a little bit tighter than they had been all season long, but that's kind of what, you know, we do. And so, you know, when you play each other every year, you kind of get tendencies and understand personnel. And so I know that was a point of emphasis for them to really be disruptive and not allow us to get good looks from the 3. I still thought we had a few that, you know, just didn't go down for us. And again, I thought we had some really good looks around the rim. I thought there was probably, I mean, I'll go back and watch, but golly, it seemed like 10 or so around the rim that we just didn't convert on. And again, I think that's just making the adjustment of playing against, you know, more athletic, longer, physical individuals. And I think by playing in these SEC games, I guarantee you in our next game, it's going to feel a little bit different to them out there. It's hard to emulate in practice. We play pretty physical. Our scout team's been gone. But I think, again, it's just an opportunity to learn and get better. And I really believe that these girls will.
Take 1 more.
On the injury and depth front, is there any update on the timeline for the freshmen getting back?
Which one?
Either. Both.
Either? Well, no, I don't know for sure. I know that, you know, both of them, we're excited to get them both back. I think, you know, Mariah's a young lady that you guys haven't had a chance to see yet, but she's got really good athleticism. She's been in some drills lately, and I think, you know, in practice, just the way she defends, her physicality, her versatility, you know, hopefully we'll get her out there sooner than later. But, you know, they've been great. Our freshmen have been great, but I couldn't give you a timeline.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.